BBC Radio Humberside.
We have been chatting all things Christmas dinner on the breakfast show today. I think you might have realised that. And we'll be looking at what you might put on your plate that some people might consider to be unusual. I mean, like, do you swap meat for fish? Is it a curry? I like to have my mac and cheese, as I mentioned. Do you swap your spuds for chips? There's some people out there. And I mentioned Yorkshire puddings. What's going on with them? Some people do. Some people don't. Now, what about a picky tea? Like a Christmas buffet instead of having the traditional Christmas meal. There's loads of ways to do it. There's no wrong way. I don't think so anyway. I'll tell you someone who does know, celebrity party planner Liz Taylor. She can help us on all things around festive foods. Liz, good morning. Welcome to the BBC Radio Humberside Breakfast Show. How are you doing? How are you feeling? You all right?
Good morning. Yeah, is Smiles really your surname?
It is Monday to Friday.
What a great name. So listen, Christmas. So what's really interesting is that food is much more casual now. You know, people want street food, they want bowl food, they want canapes. I hate the word buffet. It gives me hives. You know,
sorry.
You have visions of standing in a queue with this great big plate, watching the person in front of you pile the food on. It doesn't have to be like that at all. I don't know, but so picky bits. We're talking all picky bits. And the other thing is that what's great is the old ones they never went out of fashion, but they are back in fashion. And the old ones are the best ones, pig in blankets, vol au vent. And you were talking about Yorkshire puddings there. And actually, I do at some of the events that the Taylor Lynn Corporation produces, we do a tiny, tiny Yorkshire pudding filled with a tiny, tiny bit of roast beef with a little bit of cranberry on top. And it's a picky bit.
Oh, right. Okay, I see. So there is space. There is a place for the Yorkshire pudding at Christmas and during our Christmas food.
There's space for whatever you want. But what's really interesting is the survey that's out at the moment that the Co-op have done about etiquette with that picky bit and the Christmas buffet,
right? And
the percentages of people, that want a more informal dining, the ones that double dipping, 23%. I mean, who double dips?
What do you mean? You mean like dipping it in one sauce and
twice?
Dipping it in
Exactly. Exactly.
Or dipping it in the same thing twice.
Yeah, and using your fingers. For me, listen, if I was doing it, I would go online. I'd get some really gorgeous platters, gold platters, green platters, red platters. They're not expensive. They're tin, basically. Go and get your picky bits, your canapes, whatever you want to call them, and then display them in a really, really effective way. Okay. People are very health conscious, so it doesn't have to be a pork pig in blanket. You can do a non-meat option. A vol au vent can be cheese, it can be mushroom, and you can put tiny little signs on, this contains meat. You eat with your eyes. It's how it's displayed. Little cocktail napkin, a stick, so you can keep your fingers out of it. And it's common sense, isn't it?
It is, but Liz, can I run the risk of potentially giving you a heart attack this morning?
Hopefully not. I've got Christmas to come.
I want to go back to the double dipping thing. I'm probably a triple, maybe a quadruple dipper because I'm a mixer with my food. And I have a lot of sauces. I'll even have barbecue sauce at the table. I'll have some hot sauce and Tabasco, and obviously everything else. I like a bit of horseradish. I'm going to try this mint sauce with the roast potatoes, and I'll get everything involved. What do you think about that? Is that wrong? Have you hung up, Liz? Are you there? Hello?
No, I've not hung up, but I actually do think that you've just actually been crossed off probably many Christmas list parties for this season. Because who on earth is going to have you there? Not even double dipping, but quadruple dipping. Come on. What you do is you get a tiny little spoon. I'm going to explain to you now. It's very easy. You get a little spoon. Okay, listen carefully. Yeah. And then if you want the 4 sauces, you've got a small plate. Small plate is key. No one wants to walk around with a big plate. You want to go back to the food. So you can, it's not, you don't have to eat in between 8 and 8:15. You can go back. It's an experience. Get your spoon and put all the sauces that you want on your plate, and then get the item that you want to eat, and then walk away from the table, and you can dip as many times as you like.
Dip in secret, dip in shame. Is that what you're saying?
No, not dip in shame, but dip in style, Kofi. Dip in style.
Okay. Okay. I'm writing these down. I'm writing these notes down. So It's mad because we've been looking at traditional Christmas dinners. Would you even consider them traditional? Because in the 70s, prawn cocktails became king, and in the 80s, I think it was deviled eggs, and you mentioned the vol au vents as well. Have our traditional classics changed over the years?
Listen, the tradition will never change because Christmas, and particularly at the moment, everyone's struggled, everyone has financial pressure. It's been a really difficult time. So the tradition is always there. And I think in any religion, whether it be Christmas, whatever it is, I think tradition is key. I think food styles and what people like have changed. And you've got the younger generation that, maybe don't want the bread and butter pudding or the Christmas pudding, and you can offer alternatives. But it's how you serve it. It's how it's delivered. And the thing is that not a lot of people want to sit around a table for 4 hours. They've got young families. They want to go in at maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock and spend the afternoon enjoying the food, enjoying the picky bits, enjoying the little milk bottle that's filled with the mulled wine or is filled with a non-alcoholic drink, or the empty soup can that's got a label around it, welcome to our home at Christmas 2023, and stick a straw in it. Be a little bit innovative and get ideas. Have an idea box, get all the family to put an idea in, and then get everyone else to make something. And actually, if you're really clever, you've not had to make a thing yourself.
We have our Christmas dinner around about 3, sometimes 4 o'clock. It's late in the day because once the rest of my family have got church out the way, and then we've done presents, and then we finish the rest of the cooking, we eat quite late, which I kind of like because, you can pick a bit during the morning, have a bit to drink and stuff, and you've got this one thing to look forward to. So by the time we've eaten, cleared stuff away, it's film time and everybody chills out. But I'm curious because when it comes to the picky tea, the picky dinners, when do you go back and refill? We've been trying to figure out today because I'm in the school of you've got to clear the plate first. Always clear the plate before you go back. Or can you add extra bits of the stuff that you've liked along the way and just sort of eat around the plate? Is it got to be a clear plate, or can you just add whenever you like?
You add when I think you need to come on the Liz Taylor Training School of Eating and Drinking.
I do.
I think you do. I think I do.
I've realised I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Absolutely, you have been doing it wrong. Listen, you do what you want, but you go back as many times. The thing, and this sounds totally ridiculous, but the thing to me is the size of the plate. If you are walking around with a big plate that is either over-facing or half empty and it's cumbersome, it takes the informality out of it. If you've got a small plate, you can go back as many times as you want. If there's an item there that you really like, or you want to top up your dippings, which you probably will do 4 or 5 times during the day, you can go back as many. There are no rules. You make your own rules, but what you do is remember that there is an etiquette, and etiquette doesn't have to be a posh word. It's just a polite word. And, don't stick your fingers in it. Use the little stick that's there when you're displaying it. And for the host, what's quite interesting is when you want to refill the buffet, have some backups in the kitchen. So have the plates ready, and you can just bring out a full plate and take the empty plate away instead of taking the plate off the buffet, filling it up and then bringing it back again. So it just make life easy. It's continuous, and it's
awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory.
It's very good. Alan, I'm loving this. Liz, thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but this has been fantastic. I've got a lot to work on. We'll talk next year. You'll talk to a new and improved Copious Smiles eater, and I'll be giving you a few tips in 2024. Fingers crossed. Lovely to have a chat with the celebrity party planet, Liz Taylor.
Thank you so much for that, Liz. That was great.
Thanks very much indeed. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome. Take care.
Bye.